A letter with strange symbols lands on a newspaper desk. A child's ransom note lies on a kitchen stair. A suitcase sits by a riverbank with bundles of cash eaten by time. A cardboard box holds a nameless boy. A well-dressed man is found on a beach with a scrap of paper that says "Ended." We give these stories names: Zodiac, JonBenét, D, B, Cooper, the boy in the box, the Somerton Man, because we do not have answers. The dark truth is often not a mastermind or a grand plot. It is quieter and sadder. Scenes spoiled, tips missed, science not ready, agencies not talking, and families left waiting while myths grow louder than facts. San Francisco Bay Area, late 1960s. A killer writes the papers, calls himself Zodiac, and sends codes. People are shot on dates and on quiet roads. Fear spreads. The letters taunt police. Ciphers dare the public to solve them. Los Angeles, 1947. Elizabeth Short is found murdered and staged in a vacant lot. The case explodes into a media circus. Reporters rush the scene. Rumors multiply. Boulder, Colorado, 1996. A 6-year-old, JonBenét Ramsey, is reported missing. Later, she is found in her home. A long ransom note raises more questions than answers. The house fills with people before the scene is sealed. Pacific Northwest, 1971. A man using the name Dan/DB Cooper hijacks a plane, takes ransom money, and parachutes into the night. He vanishes. Years later, a child finds rotting stacks of his cash on a riverbank. Philadelphia, 1957. A young boy is found in a box, no name, no family to claim him. Decades pass. He is called America's unknown child. Each case has an image you cannot forget. A cipher grid, a ransom note, a parachute myth, a small box, a beach with a body in a neat suit. Those images hook us and hold us. But images are not answers. All these stories begin in normal life. Couples park by lakes. Kids play with toys under a Christmas tree. Travelers board planes with briefcases. People buy painkillers at a drugstore. A well-dressed stranger sits on a seawall, looking out at the waves. The settings are everyday. A living room, a road, a plane, a pharmacy, a beach. That is part of the shock. The threat does not look like a dark alley. It looks like any day. And within these settings, small, human decisions change everything. In 1982 in Chicago, people take Tylenol for headaches. Someone has poisoned the pills. 7 die. The killer is never charged. But tamper-evident packaging and new laws change the way medicine is sold forever. In 1959 in the Ural Mountains, 9 college hikers camp on a windy slope. They cut their tent, flee into brutal cold, and die before dawn. Decades of rumors follow. Modern models suggest a small slab avalanche, and deadly wind may explain it. No monsters, just weather and timing. In 1948 in Australia, a man in a suit dies on Somerton Beach. A hidden scrap of paper says, "Tamam should." In 2022, researchers used DNA and family trees to suggest he is Charles Webb of Melbourne. Identity likely found. Cause and reason still unclear. Watch how these cases slide from shock to confusion. Scenes get contaminated. In the Black Dahlia case, crowds and reporters walked the ground. In the Ramsey home, neighbors and friends came inside early. In Hinterkaifeck, Germany, 1922, villagers tramped through a farm after 6 people were killed. They even cooked food there. Evidence was changed or lost before experts arrived. Agencies work alone. The Zodiac crime spanned cities and counties that did not share all their files. The Golden State Killer, years later revealed as Joseph D'Angelo, moved through different regions. For decades, police did not realize when offender linked them all. Forensics hit limits. In the 1960s and 70s, there was no DNA profiling. Latent prints were partial. Storage was poor. Letters got handled without gloves. Samples degraded in heat, light, and time. Myths grow. A media nickname becomes a brand. Black Dahlia, Zodiac, D.B. Cooper. Soon the suspect theories outnumber the facts. Books and shows focus on villains, not victims. The public starts to believe there must be a brilliant cinematic twist. Often there is not. Copycats and noise drown signal. In the Tylenol murders, panic triggered false leads and more tampering across the country. In the Zodiac case, dozens of men were accused online and in print without proof. In the Black Dahlia case, the number of false confessions reached absurd levels. Sometimes there is a reveal, just not the one you expect. The Golden State Killer. In 2018, genetic genealogy led to Joseph James D'Angelo, a former police officer. In 2020, he pled guilty to 13 murders and other crimes. The solution came not from a dramatic confession, but from shared DNA across family trees and careful tree building by analysts. The boy in the box. In 2022, Philadelphia police identified America's unknown child as Joseph Augustus Zarelli using genetic genealogy. The name is known at last. The killer is still unknown. The reveal gives a child back his identity, but not his justice. Yet, Zodiac's 340 cipher. In 2020, 3 civilians solved a long unsolved 340 symbol message. It did not name the killer. It taunted again. The reveal showed skill and teamwork, but it did not close the case. Somerton Man. DNA work strongly points to Charles Webb. Likely identity ends one mystery. But how he died and why remains a question. Dyatlov Pass. A 2021 peer-reviewed study modeled how a small delayed slab avalanche could hit a tent and break bones without classic big avalanche signs. Later official reviews in Russia leaned toward avalanche plus hypothermia. The reveal is science, not a spy plot. These reveals hurt because they show the truth beneath the legend. Most cold cases do not hide masterminds. They hide delays, weak tools, and the long, patient work it takes to find any new fact. What do we learn when the cameras leave? The real dark truth is systems, not supervillains. Scenes were messy. Labs were underfunded. Agencies were siloed. Bias and tunnel vision blinded teams. The right questions were asked too late. Families pay the highest price. They live with rumors, cruel comments, and false hope. They see their loved one's name turned into a brand. The respectful path is to center victims' names and the harm done, not to chase yet another unproven suspect of the week. Change is possible. Forensics, DNA, touch DNA, improved STR kits, isotope analysis, and genetic genealogy, when used with ethics and oversight. Policy, NAMAS and other national missing person databases, interagency task forces, cold case units, evidence retention reforms. Safety, after Tylenol, tamper-evident packaging became standard. Debate is healthy. Genetic genealogy solves huge cases but raises privacy questions. Many databases now require explicit consent for law enforcement use. Media coverage helps find tips, but it can also cause harm. Responsible reporting matters. Hold these rooms in your mind. A living room with a box of clippings and a phone that never rings when you need it to. A police evidence locker with a paper bag from 1969, edges soft from time. A lab bench where a tech carefully opens an old envelope to find a few cells of DNA that might still speak. A courtroom where the only thing that happens this year is a new promise to continue reviewing leads. A cemetery stone that reads unknown child for 65 years, then is finally replaced with a name. It is easy to fall in love with the mystery. It is harder to sit with the weight. The coldest truth in cold cases is that they move an inch at a time. A new witness, a retest, a better database, a family that never gives up, a detective who reads old files with new eyes and less ego than before. That is where answers come from. We like to think the last page is missing. Most of the time, it is not missing. It is being written in slow ink. The next page might be a lab report. It might be a person who finally tells what they saw. It might be a rule that keeps the next family safe. If you read about these cases, Do it with care. Say the victims' names. Question big claims. Share official tip lines, not rumors. And remember, the dark truth behind famous cold cases is not magic. It is work. It is time. It is people who keep going.
Like and subscribe.